honestly have no idea if it's a good brand or not, but it was super affordable and they actually had a lot of options, which was great for us because this whole thing was kind of last minute and we weren't sure what we were going to buy until we got here. There's a lot of options for like the canvas or type of medium. There were even these wooden figures we could have bought that we could have painted on if we had wanted to. But I think at this point Ariel wanted me to take a video of her with this bouncy ball she found lying around while we were walking around, and I decided to humor her and do it. So here's some footage of Ariel bouncing a ball and then getting embarrassed. I don't know. But yeah, back to the plethora of options. But yeah, there's just like this really huge canvas, a single easel that we all wanted, so we decided not to get because we would all fight over it. A circle canvas, a small rectangular canvas, and there was like a pentagon or hexagon shaped one, I don't remember. Yeah, there was just a lot of options for shape and size on the canvases. So Mondo Llama had colored pencils, markers, watercolors, and this tie-dye kit, which looked really fun, but sadly wasn't on the agenda, so had to look away from that, and I decided tapping on these pots of acrylic paints. I'm not sure if I should call them pots or jars, but they were really cute and there was a lot of colors. After we had checked off the most important thing in our shopping list, we headed over to the second most important thing, which was food. And our first stop was the sweets, and there was Madeline's, assorted cookies, Rubicon cupcakes, mint chocolate and vanilla. The brownies were sold out, unfortunately, but there was also many types of donuts. We ended up going with the assorted cookies because it had a lot of different flavors packaged in one. After getting some sweets, we moved on to the healthier sweets, fruits, and we were choosing between the berries, and the final three contestants were blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries. We ended up going with the raspberries and blackberries because they looked really ripe. We usually like to get assorted cut up fruit for the variety, but they didn't have it that day, so we just settled with the berries. After choosing fruits, we went back to the unhealthy side of the snacks and chose chips. Ariel and Jael decided to try some crinkly bag sounds with the pop chips, but ended up just messing around instead. But because of that failed ASMR attempt, we almost left the aisle without getting chips, and Dee Dee had to remind us. We chose these popcorners, kettle corn chips, because they're so good. They're so addicting. We never get sick of it. I definitely recommend the popcorners, especially the kettle corn flavor. After choosing the chips, we decided that was enough snacks, because knowing us, if we got more, it would become more of a picnic and less painting. We'd just be eating food. After Target, our next stop was McDonald's to get some drinks for our snacks and at the same time get a cup of free water so we could use it to clean our brushes while we paint. We ended up getting more food because we are fatties, and they were also promoting the BTS meal at that time, which is what we usually order anyway. Chicken nuggets and french fries. And Ariel, who's a fan of BTS, is showing us her bias V, who she got from the McDonald's promotional banner. our spread. And here's a close-up of Mojo, Ariel and Xavier's dog. That was Memorial Day, so there was a lot of people actually at the park. We were spread out. There's a lot of people playing volleyball. Remember Ariel's knife collection? Well, this is one of her switch knives she carries around, and we're using it to open the canvas. Just really excited to show it to you guys. But yeah, Ariel has a knife collection. I think I've only ever talked about it on stream, so people who watched my stream would be the only ones who know, but now everyone knows, or at least everyone who watched this. So we're using Ariel's different knives to open. Jail's telling me to look. Well, Ariel uses her knife to open other canvases. I show you guys the assorted brush set we got. There's actually a lot of variety. They're very cheaply made, and you can tell that they're all plastic, but it's a good deal for just a casual date. Now this is one of Ariel's favorite knives, which we've talked about in stream, which is basically a small little knife disguised as a comb. And JL will be using it to peel off the plastic packaging of one of our canvases. It's so tiny and so thin. I think it's actually really cute. Ariel will now demonstrate the concealing of the blade with the comb head, and it looks like a regular comb again. And now I have the honor of demonstrating that it has the dual purpose of being a comb, not just a knife. And I hand the weapon back to Ariel, its rightful owner. We finally get on to some actual painting. I don't know what I want to do yet, so I'm just brushing it. I like to think that if I just do the brush strokes, inspiration will spark in my mind. Meanwhile, Ariel already has an idea of what she wants to do, and she's already started it. Ariel's painting idea is coming from these tattoos she's wanted on her body for a while. So I decided, since I have no idea what I want to paint yet, I'm just gonna get footage of everyone else starting. Ariel told us on the way here already that she wants to do some abstract kind of painting with the female body. So I'll let you guys just imagine what it is for now while I move on to TD and Jails. While Ariel's the only one in our group who started, I move on to getting footage of Jail and Dee, but Dee, like me, has nothing, and Jail has started some sketching. So I picked up the first color I thought was pretty and started putting it on my canvas, and I chose like this really nice, like cement gray or steel gray. It's like a very bright gray. At this point, I still don't know what direction I'm going. I just put on a color, but since I put one color, I decided why not put another color, and I thought like this pink, coral pink would look good, and it reminded me of my channel's pink, Chicharoni's pink. So I was like, this is good. I'm gonna stick with this color scheme. So after the pink, since I was going in the direction of Sleepy Chicharoni, I decided to stay in like the color schemes or the tones of the pink I chose. So I chose like this little peachy kind of orange pink color, and after that I decided that my transitions were still kind of harsh, so I dipped my paintbrush in water. So now I have like a transition of gray to pink and peach, and I really liked it because it was that she was wearing today, and it's like this middle finger cat. So that's what she was basically starting out to paint. And then Xavier finally started. He had to take care of Mojo real quick, but he's doing a really fast and rough sketch of his OC, original character. And I'm just really amazed how fast he sketched it, because we had like a good 20 minutes head start from him. And he also had to wait for his turn with a pencil, because it's Jail's pencil. But yeah, he already had a really good sketch. That's what 4 years in art school gets you, I guess. I did a little bit more off camera. I kind of added more pink, and I decided I didn't want just pink. I was like, I want to add some of my favorite color, purple. So now I'm adding a little layer of purple near the end, and it's this really nice, I like to call it Twitch purple. It's like the color of Twitch. I'm sorry, I've been watching a lot of Twitch, and I still don't know where I'm going with this painting. I've literally only did like some form of gradient, but yeah, I'm going somewhere with this painting. I don't know where yet, but I really like just the motion of brushing when people paint, so here's a close-up of that. I hope you guys appreciate it too. Sorry if I'm going so fast or rough. I'm trying to spread the paint before it dries. And now we're back with Jail. And Jail has finally started painting after his rough sketch of what he wanted. He's doing a painting of Hope World, which is an album cover by BTS. I think he took inspiration from the BTS McDonald's meal. And then I did a little checkup on Didi, and she's finished her cat and half of her canvas. I went back to jail because Didi wasn't doing much because she was waiting for the black to dry on her canvas, and Jail did this really cool technique. I have no idea, it's just a dabbing of what looks like a fan brush, and it gives like this really cool like tiger stripe or feathered effect, and I really liked it. And after Jail, I went back to Xavier, and he's finally started painting as well, and he's just creating the base, or that's what he called it, the base of his painting. I'm actually not sure. He was using a lot of technical terms that I didn't understand, so I just said, yeah, yes, I trust the process. And yeah, his I can talk a little bit more about his OC. His original character is a cat. I think that's the cat. It is the cat. It's a cat. So Didi and Zero are both painting cats. But Didi said she was gonna start painting again, so I panned over to her real quick because I have barely any footage of her painting so far. And she said she's gonna do the top part pink because her slippers are pink, so it's gonna be like a pink and black. A pink and black background for her middle finger cat. And Didi gets distracted. I start talking about something. I forget. I'm listening to this without audio so I could focus on the commentary. She goes back to painting. She cleans her brush. I don't know why she cleans her brush because she plans to use the same pink, I think. Jail is back to outlining his letterings because when he painted over them, I think he painted over the black, so he's going over them again. But yeah, Didi goes back to the pink. She closed the pink for some reason, so now she's painting with the wrong color of pink, and I call her out for it because I'm recording her. And now she's just laughing at her mistake, but she goes with it. And this point, I'm really curious as to her end progress. I pan over real quick to Savior again, just to see his progress, and he's still laying out his base, or foundation, as he calls it. It really does look like foundation. I think of foundation like makeup, but at this point, Ariel's progressed a lot with her ideas, and she wants to show it off. While Ariel is showing off her painting in the background, I'm dabbing white paint on this spongy dabby tool that came with a paintbrush set, because I thought it would be cool to add some clouds in my painting, because one of my channel's signature besides the pig is clouds, so my painting needs clouds, and I thought that this spongy texture would make the clouds look cooler and not just like one-dimensional. It'd give it some texture, some fluff, and that's why I'm using this. And just dab, 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 dab. Here we have two of the clouds finished, and I think they look so cute. And I'm going to show you how I did it. So I just choose a spot and just start dabbing it, and at first it looks like popcorn, and I'm like, clouds do look like popcorn, and that's why I'm calling these my little popcorn clouds. Popcorn clouds. Popcorn clouds. And I think I made 4, so this is my 4th one. And the paint was running out, so the cloud was looking less formed and more like a blob, and I was doing my best to try and fix it. I sort of fixed it. It's definitely not as fluffy or defined as the other 3 clouds, but it's fine. Now I do the same thing, but with blue paint, because I thought white clouds would be boring just being white. I wanted to add another color to it, so now I'm dab, 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 dabbing blue paint, dab, 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 on the spongy tool thingy. After the clouds, I decided to finally finish the gradient, and I put black, but the black to purple was way too harsh, so now I'm trying to even out the transition by putting some dark gray in between the purple and the black, and now it looks less harsh. I know it still looks harsh, but it was a lot more harsher when it was just the purple and black. But yeah, I decided I didn't want it to be just all sunsets, like pink and peachy tones. I wanted like a dark night somewhere in my painting. I also put birds at one point, because there's birds in my channel banner. But while I'm waiting for my paint to dry again, I do a little progress check-in with everybody else, and as you guys can see, Ariel has mostly finished her painting. A little disclaimer about Ariel's painting: some of these images were pulled up from Google. An example of an image she googled would be that face with the rose, and an example of when she made herself would be the little cute butt in the left corner. Her painting is a mix of original ideas and Google images. Onwards to Savior, and he started adding some detail and shading to his painting. He's saying trust the process. Next is Jails, and he's going over his work with white paint. I think he didn't like his textured fan brush details. I'm not sure. He's starting over. A little intermission with Mojo the dog, and we head over to TD. And it's actually so good. I have no idea how she did that galaxy background sky. And her cat actually looks like the cat on her slipper, just a little bit cartoony. But I'm so impressed with her galaxy sky, and I regret not recording more of her process because it honestly looks like she printed this or something. Like, it's so good. I'm so impressed. Now back to my work, and I'm finally finished waiting for my painting to dry. There's a lot of layers, so I had to wait multiple times. But I'm adding some star details, I think. Not sure. I just didn't like how bland the color blocks look, so I'm adding dots to represent stars. Dots, 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 dot. Now I'm adding some X or like crossed line stars because I wanted some variety on the shapes of my stars. And I decided to make the purple, gray, and black side of my painting like a starry night because I thought it would be interesting to put like a night sky instead of the usual ocean for my sunset painting. Because I didn't want to use blue, I wanted to incorporate purple somehow, so. And that's why I'm really impressed with Dee Dee's, because her galaxy looks so good. And now that I'm like doing my dots and X's, it kind of pales in comparison to Dee Dee's galaxy, or like a Milky Way. But I'm doing my best. So like the first half, or like 3/4 of my painting, or yeah, is a sunset sky with clouds and birds. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with my dots and X's of stars. X's, X's, stars, 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 dots, dots. Now, finally, for the final step I do in my own painting, I freehand a little wooden boat. I hand over the camera to Ariel so I can better focus on painting the little wooden boat. I really wanted to emphasize that the starry sky in my painting is actually the starry ocean. And what better way to do that than to paint a little wooden boat? I'm not gonna lie though, I kinda wish I did a pre-sketch of it before just jumping into it and painting it freehand, because it does look a little bit basic, like a little basic sailing boat. But I think it's fine. It gives off coming home from kindergarten with your first painting kind of vibes to show your parents, you know? Very cute, very childlike. It kind of goes with my theme of dreamy. I have nothing else really to say. This is kind of the end of the painting picnic vlog video. Overall, this day was really fun to plan and kind of execute. It's really hard to get me and my cousins all together to do something like this. And it just so happened that my all our paintings ended up. First up is my starry ocean sunset with cotton candy blue clouds, and yes, I thought of that on the spot. Xavier's very detailed portrait of one of his original characters, or OCs. Jail's very simple but cute album cover of Hope World. Ariel's diverse collage of the woman anatomy. And finally, Dee Dee's very expressive galaxy cat, or space cat that flips you off. I don't know. I'm kind of wishing I asked them if they had titles for their paintings, but I'm curious, what titles would you give? Would you give each one of these? Because I'm literally just making this stuff up now on the spot. Please take